Hi guys, it's Amanda. Welcome back. What I did, I went ahead and laid down a pearlescent base coat, and I'm going to do something a little bit differently than what I normally do. Today my inspiration comes from Julie Cuts and Fiona Art. First of all, Julie Cuts has different challenges in her Facebook group, Pouring Your Heart Out, where she gives you different colors and just wants you to go paint with those colors and see what you get. And Fiona has been doing this new thing where she does a wrecked bloom, and I've never done a bloom painting before, and I'm not sure how this is going to turn out, but I want to try a wrecked bloom with the current colors from the challenge in the Pouring Your Heart Out Facebook group. The colors are navy, which I'm using Prussian blue. Blue is the second color, and I'm using cobalt blue. And teal or turquoise, I don't know exactly what she said, but mine is like a, sorry, I have to shake it up. Mine is a self-mix with ultramarine blue and a little bit of emerald green to make a teal or turquoise color. And then burgundy, and this is Winsor & Newton. And then orange, and this is either yellow orange or orange yellow from Jerry's Artorama, but I'm going to use it anyway. And the cobalt blue and the Prussian blue are Liquitex Basics. My self-made teal is Liquitex Basics and Master's Touch, but that doesn't really matter. So I've let this sit and try to level out a little bit. My paint got thick since I used it last week. My pearlescent did anyway. It was hard to spread. I may have to go back and repaint like my sides, my edges later, because I think I'm going to go for some negative space in this painting, but I'm just going to start off. I'll shake this up a little bit because it has sat for a few minutes. I'll start with this pearlescent in the center, and I'm going to go in the order the colors are here. I don't know if you can see them, but we'll do cobalt blue next. I have no idea how to judge how much paint I need to do this, so I'm just going to eyeball it and see what happens. It may not end up in the center. Who knows how it'll turn out. I've never done a painting like this, so I'm curious to see what happens. This is my self-made teal, and I made a mess, but I don't care. And between those, I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit more of this pearlescence before I put the orange on, so that maybe we don't get brown there. And I may turn it this way because it seems to be running that way at the moment. Do the orange. Do a little bit more because I like that color. And then I will do, this one is a little bit thicker, and the navy or the Prussian blue is a little bit thicker. I need paper towels, but I forgot them today. So I don't know how that's going to turn out. I need to wipe my bottles off. A little bit more pearlescent, and then some burgundy. That one's pretty thick. I didn't add water in this pouring medium because my last pouring medium that I tried had a lot of water, and it was my paints were really thin, so I didn't add any this time. And I think that it's going to, these two are going to be really thick, so I'm not sure how this is going to work. Turn this again. This one feels the thickest. Whoa, I don't know where that went. Oh well. Yeah, that's not even all mixed up very well. So I don't know how, wow, whoopsie. I don't know how that's going to turn out. Let me try to wipe this off a little bit. I'm wasting all that paint. Okay. next time, note to self, next time bring paper towels. And I need to put that lid on. And, kind of wanted more of that dark blue. But I'll leave it like that. I don't know if that's enough paint or not, but it should be fine because I'm not going to plan to cover the edges. But I'm going to try to blow this out a little bit with a straw. I may have to use my head, and I may cut my head out of the video for this, or I may just cut this whole part out. I may skip it. I may be back in a minute. Whoops. I've blown all the way down to the canvas. That's an oopsie. Okay, so not exactly sure if I like that because I blew down to the canvas too much. I think I needed maybe more paint. I'm going to let it sit for just a minute and see what it does. I don't have any of this stuff that's in a traditional bloom. I've never done a bloom. I haven't taken the class. I'm just testing out the idea of layering the paint, blowing it out from the center, and see what happens. And I blew too much, and the canvas is showing down here, so I'm thinking about maybe adding some more color. Fiona's been doing hers by wrecking it by making a spiral. My plan is to wreck it by drawing a star across the canvas and then stretching it. But I don't know, since I blew so far down to the canvas, I don't know if I need to add more paint or not. I wish that someone could tell me. I kind of like how it looks. Now I know I need more. I need to do like a second layer of colors next time maybe. Or not blow so much down and blow more out. I think I'll go ahead and try to wreck it by drawing a star. And then as I tilt, maybe I can tilt some back towards the middle. I'm going to go all the way, like from corner up, whoops, and down to this corner, over to the side, over to this side, and kind of back down. It's not a very good one. That doesn't do a whole lot. Maybe if I try another one, just in where the paint is. That doesn't do a whole lot either. But since I like the number 3, I will turn it and I'll do it a third time, facing a different way. Okay. now I understand why the spiral works better. But what I'm going to do is now I'm just going to kind of, first I'll tilt maybe across the center so that I can fill that hole in a little bit. I have a huge hole because of how I think I needed more paint. I blew it down to the canvas. I don't know if I can fill that center spot in while I stretch or not. Now I'm just going to play around and stretch and see what happens. I think the next time I try this, I think I will try this again because I think it's really neat. But I think the next time I will put more paint. And I think I will try the spiral like Fiona because it actually mixes the colors a lot better. I was just curious what a star would do. And it didn't really do a whole lot. You can still see that big gap where I blew all the paint out of the center. Maybe I really did need to put more back in there. And I don't even think I'm going to go over the sides at all. I'm just going to leave negative space. I'm just stretching it all the way around towards each corner, trying to fill in the middle a little bit. This looks absolutely nothing like what Fiona gets. So now I understand why she does the spiral. And she probably uses way more paint because I didn't use enough paint. I'm not sure that I like this at all. Still trying to fill in that hole in the center. Okay, maybe if I put it back, not put it back, but I filled in a lot of the hole in the center. Maybe if I do go at it with a spiral, maybe that will give it something, maybe that will make it look better. Maybe if I try the fatter end of this thing too. I don't know. I think I'm just making green and mud. Try tilt a little bit more. I don't have enough paint. That's my #1 problem. And that base layer was way too thick. Some of my actual paint was thicker than others. So that makes it all hard to spread if it's too thick. By looking at it like this, it looks like most of it's too thick. I'm not getting any lacing or cells or anything interesting in this. I am just making mud. So I have again failed at whatever I have been attempting. That navy or that Prussian blue that I used for navy is way too thick. It's just kind of sitting there. I need to thin it out. I really need to make sure my paint consistencies are all the same. And if you saw my last video, which was from last Thursday. It has dried and it looks horrible. I meant to show it to you today, but I will make another quick video where I just show it to you. It looks awful with all the green that the black and the yellow made. At this point, I'm just completely ruining this too. This looks awful too. So whenever I experiment with new things, they normally don't work out very well. I want to leave some negative space, but I'm trying to go kind of close to the corners. It's gone over the edge in a couple of spots. So I will let it do that in a couple of spots. This is definitely wrecked. It's not a wrecked bloom, it's just a wrecked painting. I guess every time I try something new, it just turns out to be a wreck anyway. So this might be why my favorite way is a flip cup, because there's always something that I like in a flip cup, except for my last one. Because I don't like this at all. At what point do you just give up, huh? At this point. This is the point in which I give up. I don't like this at all. I'm going to let it dry and see where it's spotty and see where I need to touch up my edges and around the outside of this awful monstrosity. It's very thick right there in that glob, because that Prussian blue is very thick. I really need to make sure all my paints are the same consistency. And I don't like this at all, but if you made it this far, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And I will try to do something better. I've been leaning on this and moving my table. I have no idea what you can see. But I hope to try to do something better for my next video. I don't have any ideas yet of what I'm going to try for Thursday, but hopefully it's better than this mess. Have a blessed day. Bye. I put my other lights away and forgot I was going to show you a close-up of this nightmare. I think I'm going to call this the nightmare. You can see where the paint, the base coat didn't stay on the canvas there. I'm going to have to touch up around the sides. If I keep this, I may just paint over this next time. There's nothing really interesting to look at in this one. This is just a big mess. I'd say it's because of the paint consistencies. A lot of them are too thick, and then a couple of them are really thin. They just don't play well together. So, this is my nightmare.